around it that's been successful. You know, how we don't have one focal person for them to be able to murder all. You know, kind of just the fight model after you know, revolutionary ideal.
I'll give a situation, for example, in Guyana with the Working People's Alliance, which my husband was one of the co-leaders of that. And they tried a new method of not having one leader, but rotating the leadership. But still, the people identify with one person, okay? That person might be more charismatic, that person might be more grounded with the population, and what the state does is target that particular person. So you still, as they say, cut off, if you cut off the head of the snake, then you know you kill the movement. I think we have to perhaps rethink that again. How do we make sure it's not just a leadership, but leaders from the bottom up, that they're always, everyone is a leader and everyone can carry out the struggle. We don't just depend on a few people, because what they do is still isolate even all the leadership in one way or another. They kill some lose jobs, some leave because they can't support their family or it's too dangerous to stay. So perhaps we need to begin to think of another way of ensuring that the movement continues despite the killing off of identified leaders.
I think in that context, for those of you who are students, think about the leadership of your institutions, the historically black colleges or the minority serving ones. There's a major issue with leadership currently, and this is part of that whole dialogue. Farouz talked about the financial sector, those on the capital side buying out the leadership. The same thing is happening in your academic institution. In terms of sustainability, think deeply about that as you go forward.
Thank you. Yes. About the question of leadership, I have my small opinion. Many times I used to listening to in the media, radio, TV. There are many seminars on leadership and so on and so on. But I think, in my opinion and what I can observe as a historian, is that the leadership is something which come at the light with the spontaneity. It is not something someone can say, I am building. I will take examples here, and I will also take examples in Africa, in Cameroon, my country. Here in the United States, during the civil rights movement, if I can be confident with what I have read, when the boycott of, I think, Montgomery bus company was supposed to start, Martin Luther King did not stand up and to say, I am the leader of the movement. People looking at his quality went to call to him and tell him, you must be our spokesman. He did not attend seminars, he did not attend conferences to be prepared to leadership, but people themselves identify someone and say, that boy have the qualities to carry our struggle. And the same thing occurred in my country, Cameroon. during the struggle for the independence. We have a national hero called Ruben Umyobe, who was also assassinated in a very savage manner. But the history about him is that when the first political party in the French-speaking part of Africa was to be created, the UPC, Union of Cameroonian Population, Omyobe was not in the hall, but his classmates, his friends who was in the hall to create the party said, the man to lead this party is Omyobe. And they went in, and in his absence, put his name as Secretary General of the party, of the movement, and he was called to lead the movement. And he did it in a very beautiful manner. So, in my opinion, the leadership is something one born with. One born with, and maybe it depends of the others to recognize the leader and let him play the role of leaders. That is my small opinion I have about the question of leadership. If I can take this point of view from what I can observe in the history of societies. Thank you.
En América Latina, a finales de la década de los 90,
in Latin America at the end of the 1990s,
producto de los movimientos sociales,
as a product of the social movements,
va a surgir una serie de liderazgos
a series of leaders began to emerge
que no solo sabían hablar con el pueblo,
that not only knew how to speak with the people,
sino comunicar con el pueblo
but rather communicate with the people,
y recoger la esperanza del pueblo
gather together the hopes, the aspirations of the people,
y transformarla en políticas revolucionarias.
and transform those aspirations into revolutionary policies.
En este caso, Hugo Chávez, por ejemplo.
In the case of Hugo Chavez, for example,
Y cuando muere Chávez, en marzo del 2013,
and when Chavez died in March 2013,
los enemigos del proceso bolivariano
the enemies of the Bolivarian Revolution
pensaban que con la muerte del líder
thought that with the death of Chavez, the leader,
caía el proceso bolivariano.
the revolution would fall apart.
Y no ha sido así.
And that hasn't been so.
Ahí se está defendiendo
There we are defending
una constitución
a constitution
que no la hizo Chávez,
that Chavez did not write.
la hizo el pueblo,
The people wrote it.
los negros,
The blacks,
los indígenas,
the indigenous
los
peoples,
sin tierras,
those who had no
los
land,
homosexuales,
the gays,
gays, lesbianas,
lesbians,
todos participaron en elaborar esa constitución.
everybody participated in elaborating that constitution.
Y esa constitución
And it is that constitution
es lo que hoy estamos defendiendo.
is what we are defending.
Existió un líder histórico
There was a central historical leader
que fue Hugo Chávez,
who was Hugo Chavez,
pero hoy el liderazgo está en toda la nación.
but today the leadership is in the whole nation.
Con todo el boicot que hemos tenido
With the boycott that we've been suffering
de las compañías transnacionales,
on the part of transnational corporations,
de los gobiernos antivenezolanos,
of the anti-Venezuelan governments,
de la intervención aquí del Congreso de la ultraderecha fascista radical cubano-americana,
with the intervention here in Congress of the ultra-right fascist Cuban-American,
no han podido destruir el legado de Chávez.
they have not been able to destroy Chavez's legacy.
Y lo mismo está pasando en Bolivia con Evo Morales.
And the same thing is going on in Bolivia with Evo Morales,
Un cocalero,
a cocoa grower,
sindicalista,
a union leader,
y hoy representa la esperanza del pueblo boliviano.
And today he represents the hopes of the Bolivian people.
Tal vez líderes potenciales como Walter Rodney,
Potential leaders like Walter Rodney,
en el momento que tenía bien claro el proyecto del país
at the moment that he was very clear on the kind of
para construir,
country that needed to be built,
fue asesinado.
he was murdered.
Porque el imperialismo eso lo tiene muy claro.
Because imperialism understands this very well.
Comienza a asesinar a los líderes potenciales.
It begins to murder potential
Así
leaders.
fue que pasó con Mauricio en Granada,
That's what happened to Morris Bishop in Grenada,
Tomás Chánkara,
Thomas Chankara,
Patricio Lumumba,
Lumumba,
Amílcar Cabral.
Cabral.
Pero al fin esos pueblos hoy se están levantando de nuevo.
But even so, those people are rising up again.
Y ahí está el caso de Burkina Faso
And you have the case of Burkina Faso
el año pasado.
last year.
El espíritu de Tomás regresó con fuerza
Thomas's spirit returned with even more force
para reclamar el sitio histórico
to take back the historic place
del pueblo de Burkina Faso.
of the people of Burkina Faso.
Se lo digo porque estuve allí como embajador de ese país el año pasado.
I did talk about that because I was there as the Venezuelan ambassador last year.
Thank you, thank you. Those are profound words that we could use to depart. I think we're out of time. Hopefully all of you will join us in the morning so we can continue this dialogue. And thank you for hanging with us the entire afternoon. All right, see you in the morning.
And you see when the tables turn, we say I love I and I preaching, so every land of hate will burn.
And the projector, if you would put that on. So, just a final announcement about our show tonight. Please do come out. We're going to be there by 8:30, about an hour. And I hope you'll come and join us. Club Aerosol. We're putting it up on the board in a minute. You'll see it. But please tell your friends and bring some people out for the artists who come. Thank you.
Oh, pirates, yes, they rabbi, sold out to the merchant ships. Minutes after they to die from the bottomless